Here with me now, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon. Congressman, great to see you again. You know, Governor Greg Abbott demanding Texas School Board Association shield children from pornography and inappropriate content. Reports of explicit content in GovEd curriculums and libraries. Disgusting and an abuse of our tax dollars, not to mention child abuse, in my opinion. Now, if I were to show some of these books to kids, I'd be arrested. Yet GovEd schools get to peddle this smut consequence-free. With all due respect to the governor, the Texas Association of School Boards can't police this, even if they wanted to. Isn't school choice making our parents the guardians of their kids and what they learn? Isn't that the answer?
Well, Chris, thanks for having me on again. I think that's why we're seeing in Virginia a Republican on the verge and precipice of winning an election there, because he wants parents to be empowered to help guide the curriculum for their own kids. And the teachers unions, of course, don't want that. And I applaud Governor Abbott for doing what he's done, because, you know what, I don't want to sexualize children, and I want our children educated, not indoctrinated. There was a report of a teacher in another state sending her kids on a field trip to a gay bar, and they were elementary age students. So this is obscene, as you just mentioned, and we need to do far better to police, and empowering parents and holding school boards accountable is the way to solve this issue.
Yeah, and none of this stuff happens if parents are in charge. The Biden administration is reopening nuclear talks with the #1 state sponsor of terrorism, Iran. However, Republican members like Senator Ted Cruz are slamming Biden for pledging the United States will never exit the nuclear deal again. Now, Obama almost made sure Iran got nukes. Can the GOP stop Biden from getting nukes to the #1 state sponsor of terrorism?
Well, you know what, Chris, we better, because there are too many Gold Star families in this country that lost their loved ones because Iran is directly responsible for their deaths. And this is a country that we need to hold to account. Before we start talking to Iran again, we need to re-implement the UN arms embargo on Iran. That should be a condition. But Joe Biden is, again, just like he did in Afghanistan, is projecting weakness and not strength. The best English that these Iranian mullahs understand is a gun to the head. That's what they understand, strength, and that's what we need to show them.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court held a hearing on the Texas heartbeat law. Seemed to be some concern, even from some of the conservative justices, about this law. However, The Hill reported that abortion rates have been cut in half since this law went into effect in Texas. This law may be challenged in the future, but it is certainly proving to be a win for innocent babies in Texas for now, yes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the author of the Texas Heartbeat Bill, Shelby Slauson, is a good friend of mine, and it's a very effective piece of legislation. And, you know, abortion wasn't mentioned in the Constitution, Chris. This is something that the justices decided that they were going to weigh in on in the 70s. So it's very different from freedom of speech, for instance, or the right to bear arms. And Texans have decided there's supposed to be 50 laboratories of democracy in this country. Texans have decided that we want this law on the books. It passed overwhelmingly, incidentally, in our state. And I think it's really a Texas issue, and it has nothing to do with the federal government.
Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported that the Biden administration plans to pay illegal aliens separated from their families due to America's laws $500,000 a pop, adding up to about approximately $1 billion in taxpayer money. Congressman, why has no Republican proposed a bill that would compensate every angel mom or other victim of illegal alien crime? Because you see, government failed to keep our citizens safe, stopping illegal aliens from coming into this country. Shouldn't the government pay our citizens for being traumatized by turning its back on our laws the way our federal government, Republicans and Democrats, have done so in allowing illegal aliens to stream in here anytime they want into the United States?
Well, Chris, I'm absolutely honey badger furious about this, because you're talking about if we lose a military member in action, their families, if they have the insurance, are paid $400,000. And Joe Biden wants to pay illegal immigrants that cross our borders without permission nearly $500,000. And I think there were about 5,000 that they were considering settling with. This is egregious beyond belief. I just can't even believe we're actually even talking about this. And maybe we should garnish the wages of every member of Congress that doesn't vote to secure the border, because it is a Biden border catastrophe, and he's made every state a border state. We've added, in essence, the entire state of West Virginia, 1.7 million people just in the last year, and we're allowing countries to export their poverty into this country, and it must be stopped. Because as you just said, if you're not safe, then you're not free. And that's the number one job of us in Congress, is to keep Americans safe.
Well, I'd love to see maybe either you or some other Republican up there on Capitol Hill author a bill that wants to compensate every American citizen who has been a victim of illegal aliens who should never have been here to commit crimes to begin with. Maybe American citizens could be put first for a change in that damn capital of Washington, D.C. Congressman Pat Fallon, sir, appreciate the time.